What's up, legends, and welcome to Alpha Reality. Let's get right into it. There's a specific moment in a man's life, a moment of pure, unfiltered clarity. When he realizes the entire dynamic of his relationship has just shifted under his feet, he didn't do anything different today than he did yesterday. But he has been doing something different for weeks, maybe months. He's been focusing on himself. He's been building, working, going to the gym. He's been less available, not as a manipulation tactic, but as a genuine consequence of his own growth. And then it happens. The woman in his life, the one who was maybe distant, maybe comfortable, maybe even taking him for granted, realizes it. She realizes she's losing him. And her behavior is about to become shocking. This isn't about games. This is about raw human psychology. When a person, any person, feels they are losing something they value, or, more accurately, something they assumed they would always have, their deep-seated panic mechanisms kick in. It's a primal fear of loss, and the behaviors that follow are so predictable, they're almost a script. Today, we are dissecting that script. We're going to analyze, piece by piece, the psychological unraveling that happens when she realizes you are no longer a guaranteed part of her future. The first thing you have to understand is that her realization doesn't happen all at once. It's a slow drip of anxiety that quickly turns into a flood. It starts with confusion. Her entire world, her entire framework of how you're supposed to act is failing. Your predictable patterns are gone. You used to text back in 5 minutes. Now it might be 5 hours, or you might just respond with, "Got it." You used to be the one initiating plans. Now your schedule is packed, and she's the one trying to fit into your calendar. This initial confusion is critical. It's the crack in her foundation of certainty. And her first reaction isn't panic. Not yet. Her first reaction is data collection. She'll start probing. This is the first shocking behavior, and it's so subtle, most men miss it. It's the digital leash check. Her texting frequency will suddenly explode. But it's not the content you should watch, it's the pattern. You'll get "hey" texts, you'll get "what are you doing" texts at random hours. You'll get memes, TikToks, random articles, anything that serves as a ping. She isn't trying to have a conversation. She's checking your response time. She's testing the connection. In her mind, she's sending a signal down a dark wire to see if the light still turns on at the other end. When you don't respond immediately, or when your response is short, the anxiety builds. Every minute you don't reply is, in her mind, more proof that you're pulling away. It's wild how many guys see this increased texting and think, "oh, she's just bored," or "she's really into me all of a sudden." No, she's terrified. She's checking your virtual pulse. Right after this, or maybe at the same time, comes the second behavior, the casual interrogation. This is when she tries to get information about your life that she used to ignore. Suddenly, she's fascinated by your work project. She'll ask questions like, "so who all was at that work dinner?" Or, "oh, you went to the gym. Who'd you see there?" These questions are not born from genuine curiosity. They are investigative. She's looking for something, or more specifically, someone, to blame for your distance. In her mind, it's impossible that you're just busy or focused on yourself. The only logical explanation is that another woman has taken your attention. Her questions are a clumsy attempt to find this other woman, to identify the threat. This is a critical moment. If you've been watching my videos, you know this stuff is real. And if you've seen this exact behavior, the random pings, the sudden questions about your social life, do me a favor and hit that like button. It's important for me to know you're connecting the dots on this. Let's be real. This is a masterclass in human psychology, and you're getting it for free. Okay, so she's done her initial probing, the pinging and the questions. They didn't work. They didn't give her the reassurance she needs. Worse, your continued distance has only confirmed her worst fears. The confusion phase is over. Now the real panic sets in. And this is when we move from subtle investigation to active overcompensation. This is the phase that will shock you the most because it feels like a complete personality transplant. The first sign of this phase is what I call the sudden good girlfriend mode. The woman who was previously too busy to make plans, the woman who was always too tired for intimacy, the woman who complained about your hobbies, is gone. In her place is a perfect version of herself. She'll start cooking your favorite meal. She'll suggest your favorite movie. She'll suddenly be very interested in your hobbies. If you play guitar, she'll suddenly ask, "can you teach me a chord?" If you love a specific sports team, she's suddenly wearing your jersey, asking when the game is. She will become the most accommodating, agreeable, low-maintenance person you've ever met. This is a conscious and desperate attempt to fix whatever she thinks is broken. She is, in essence, trying to win you back by becoming the fantasy girlfriend she thinks you want. She's increasing her value to you, or so she believes. She's trying to remind you of the good times to show you what you'd be losing. It's a performance. The second part of this panic phase is the social media broadcast. This one is devious. Her entire online presence will change. If she was a private person before, she will suddenly start posting a lot. And her posts will fall into two categories. Category 1, the "We're so happy" post. She'll find an old photo of you two from months or even years ago, a time when things were good. She'll post it with a caption like, "My king," or "So lucky to have this one," or "Throwback to the best time with my favorite person." This is a public territorial marking. It's a message not just to you, but to any other woman who might be in the picture. It's her planting a digital flag and screaming, "He is mine." Category 2, the thirst trap broadcast. This is the flip side. If the happy post doesn't get the desired reaction from you, and it probably won't because you're busy, she'll pivot. She will start posting pictures of herself, dressed up, looking incredible, out with her friends, holding a drink, laughing. This is a two-pronged attack. First, it's designed to make you jealous, to make you think, "Wow, she looks amazing. Other guys are definitely looking at her. I'd better lock this down." Second, it's her testing the open market. It's her B plan. She's subconsciously or consciously reminding herself that she still has options, that she is desirable. She's building a social safety net in case you actually leave. It's an incredibly common and transparent tactic. And while she's doing all this, she's also going to deploy the single most common tactic in the book, the jealousy test. This is where her behavior gets really messy. She will manufacture competition. She will accidentally leave her phone face up on the table, hoping you see a text from Mike from work. She will casually drop his name into conversation. "Oh, Mike said the funniest thing today. He's so smart." Or, "It's so weird. This guy at the gym keeps trying to talk to me." She is praying for a reaction. She wants you to get angry. She wants you to get possessive. She wants you to slam your hand on the table and say, "Who the hell is Mike?" Because to her, your jealousy is the ultimate proof that you still care. Your anger is a sign of your investment. If you give her that reaction, she wins. You've shown your cards. You've shown that you are afraid to lose her. You've reset the power dynamic right back to where it was, and all your hard work, all your self-improvement is gone in an instant. You've just taught her that all she has to do to get your attention is to mention another man. This is a critical test, and most men fail it. By the way, if you are getting value from this breakdown, if you're finally understanding things that have confused you for years, subscribe to this channel. We don't do fluff here. We don't do politically correct nonsense. We do the raw, unfiltered truth. Click that subscribe button and the bell icon because you don't want to miss what's coming next. So let's review. She's tried probing, she's tried overcompensating, she's tried making you jealous, and you're still on your path. You're still detached, you're still focused, you're not reacting, you're just living your life. This is the point where her psychology breaks. The panic is no longer a quiet hum in the back of her mind. It's a screaming siren. She has thrown all her go-to moves at you, and none of them have worked. This is where she enters the next and most dangerous phase. This is the part where her behavior stops being shocking and starts becoming, well, desperate. This is the Hail Mary phase. And the first move in this new desperate playbook is one that will completely blindside you. It's the trip down memory lane. She will try to weaponize nostalgia. She will find ways to casually bring you to places that are special to you both. "Hey, remember that little Italian place where we had our first date? We should go there this weekend." She will play your song in the car. She will find old gifts or letters you gave her. This is a psychological anchor. She is trying to remind your brain of the good old days, of the initial spark, of the emotions you felt before you started pulling away. She's trying to make you feel guilty for throwing away all this history. She's trying to get you to second-guess your own growth by shackling you to a romanticized version of the past. It's a powerful emotional manipulation. And when that doesn't work, when you go to the restaurant and you're still you, polite but distant, present but not invested, she will move to the next step. This is when she will try accidental vulnerability. This is the 180-degree turn from the thirst trap girl. This is the broken girl. She'll start a fight, and midway through, she'll just break down crying. She'll tell you about her tough childhood. She'll talk about her fears and insecurities. She will paint herself as a victim, as a fragile, damaged thing that you are the only one who can protect her. This is designed to trigger your male protector instinct. It's a calculated move to shift the frame from equal partners to protector and protected. She's trying to make you feel responsible for her emotional well-being. If you leave, you're not just leaving a woman, you're abandoning a vulnerable person. It's a heavy, heavy guilt trip. And if you still don't buckle, if you see this for what it is, a manipulation, she has one of the most shocking cards left to play. This is the one that truly shows you how terrified she is. It's the boundary erasure. Every single boundary she has ever set in the relationship will vanish overnight. Things she never wanted to do, things she said she was uncomfortable with, things she told you were deal breakers for her. Suddenly, they are all on the table. If she was the one who was always pushing back on moving in, she'll suddenly say, I was looking at apartments for us. If she was the one who said she wasn't ready for a more serious commitment, she'll be the one bringing up a future, a timeline, even marriage or kids, if there were. Specific things in the bedroom she was against, she will suddenly become the most adventurous person you've ever met. This is the ultimate act of desperation. She is literally sacrificing her own identity, her own standards, her own boundaries in a last-ditch effort to keep you. She is showing you that she is willing to become anything you want as long as you don't leave. She is offering to burn down her own self just to keep you. This is the moment you truly realize the power you have. The power that you always had, but you only just discovered. The power of being willing to walk away. We're going to talk about the final explosive stages, the anger, the ultimatums, and the final moves, and exactly what you need to do when they happen. So she has offered to erase herself. She's offered to become a chameleon, to mold herself into whatever shape she thinks you desire. She has sacrificed her boundaries on the altar of her own fear, and you still haven't buckled. You're still focused, you're still on your mission, you're still the man who has built a life so compelling that he is no longer defined by her. Her brain is now in a full-blown red alert 4-alarm fire. The fix-it and seduce him tactics have failed. The guilt trip and vulnerability tactics have failed. She has, in her mind, nothing left to offer. And when a person has nothing left to offer, they only have two things left to do: to lash out or to bargain with a gun to their head. This is phase 4, the desperate ultimatum. She will manufacture a moment of truth. She'll sit you down. The tears from the vulnerability phase might be back, but this time they feel different. They're mixed with frustration. She will hit you with the "where is this going?" speech. But it's not a question. It's a demand. "I need to know right now what we are," she'll say. "I can't do this anymore. I need a commitment." This is the Hail Mary pass. She is trying to force your hand. She is trying to use a verbal ultimatum to trap you. She believes that your fear of losing her, a fear she is currently experiencing, will be greater than your desire for freedom, and that you will cave and give her the commitment she needs to feel secure again. It's a massive gamble, because if you call her bluff, if you look at her calmly and say, "I can't give you that right now," or even more powerfully, "I understand," and say nothing, her entire world implodes. She just put all her cards on the table, and you just looked at them and shrugged. This is the moment that will define everything. And if you've ever been in this exact situation, I want you to drop a comment below. Just write ultimatum. I want to see how many men in this community have faced this exact test. It's more common than you think. Now her ultimatum has failed. She tried to trap you and you just stepped aside. The panic, the fear, the desperation, it has nowhere left to go. So it turns into something new, something ugly. It turns into anger. This is the next shocking behavior, the lashing out. The sweet, vulnerable, accommodating woman is gone. She is replaced by a storm of pure, unfiltered rage, and it's all directed at you. Suddenly, everything is your fault. You're selfish. You led her on. You're a commitment phobe. You're just like all the other guys. She will bring up every single mistake you've ever made in the relationship, every argument, every time you disappointed her. It will all be weaponized and thrown at your head. This is a critical psychological defense mechanism. It's called blame shifting. She cannot accept the reality that you are leaving her because you've outgrown her or because you've just chosen a different path. In her mind, that is too big of a blow to her ego. So she has to rewrite the narrative. She has to make you the bad guy. She's not being left. She is the victim of a terrible man. This allows her to protect her own self-image. It's a desperate attempt to regain control of the story, even if she's lost control of the relationship. She's trying to hurt you, to win the breakup, to get the last word. She wants you to fight back. She wants you to get angry, to yell. Because if you yell, you care. If you engage in the fight, you are still invested. Your power here is your silence. Your power is your calm. When you don't take the bait, when you don't engage the rage, you show her that her words have no more power over you. And that, to her, is the most terrifying realization of all. We're almost at the end of her playbook. She's tried everything. She's tried to be sweet, she's tried to be sexy, she's tried to be vulnerable, she's tried to be angry. There's only one move left. It's the most primal, the most base level. The last-ditch physicality. This can go one of two ways. It can be an extension of the anger. She might push you, slap you, or throw something. This is, of course, a total and complete deal breaker. It's a sign of profound emotional instability. But more often, it's the other side of the coin. After the anger, after the yelling, when there's nothing left, she will try to use her body. She will try to initiate intimacy, not from a place of passion or connection, but from a place of pure animal desperation. It's the ultimate shutdown move. She's trying to bypass your logic, your reasoning, your newfound purpose, and go straight for your biology. She's trying to remind you of the physical connection, hoping that it will be enough to cloud your judgment, to pull you back in, to reset the clock. It's the final, desperate attempt of a person who has run out of all other options. So let's step back. Why does this happen? Why this predictable, shocking, and often dramatic script? It's not because all women are crazy. That's a lazy, low IQ take. It's because of a few fundamental psychological triggers. 1. Loss aversion. This is a basic human principle. We feel the pain of a loss 2 to 3 times more powerfully than we feel the pleasure of a gain. She didn't just lose you, she lost the certainty of you. She lost her future plans with you. She lost the status of being with you. The loss is massive, and her brain is wired to do anything to stop it. 2. Anxious attachment. Many people operate from a place of anxious attachment. Their sense of self, their sense of okayness, is directly tied to their partner. When you pull away, you are not just pulling away affection, you are pulling away her source of validation. You are, in her mind, threatening her very sense of self. Of course she's going to panic. And 3, and this is the most important one, she realizes your value has surpassed her control. For the entire relationship, she held a control card. She knew subconsciously that you were more invested than she was, that you were the one afraid to lose her. This gave her comfort. It gave her security. But by focusing on yourself, by building your purpose, by becoming a man who has options, and more importantly, a man who is his own option, you changed the game. Your value, your fitness, your finances, your social standing, your indifference went up. Your need for her went down. The power dynamic fundamentally and irreversibly shifted. Her shocking behavior is simply the death rattle of her old control. It's the panicked, desperate thrashing of someone realizing they are no longer in the driver's seat. She's not reacting to you, she's reacting to her own loss of power. And this is where most men get it wrong. They see these behaviors, the texts, the jealousy, the tears, the anger, and they fold. They either go back thinking, wow, she really does love me, or they get drawn into the drama and the fights. You must do neither. Your job is to be the observer, the gray rock. You see the behaviors, you analyze them, you understand where they come from, and you keep moving forward. Because here's the final brutal truth. The moment you give in, the second you reward this desperate behavior with your attention and validation, it's over. Her respect for you, which was just beginning to form, a new respect born from your strength, will instantly vanish. She won't see you as the strong man who came back. She will see you as the weak man who couldn't leave, and the entire cycle of her taking you for granted will start all over again, only this time, it'll be worse. You have to be willing to let her go. You have to be willing to watch this entire psychological drama play out, and not buy a ticket to the show. Your future, your purpose, your mission, it has to be more important than her temporary panicked drama. When she realizes that, when she realizes that her tears, her anger, her seductions, none of it works. Only then does one of two things happen. She either vanishes from your life completely, or she begins the long, difficult process of actually changing, of actually improving herself, to try and genuinely earn a place in your new, high-value world. Either way, you win. This has been a deep dive. If you made it all the way through, you are part of the 1% who are actually serious about this. It's been Alpha Reality. Stay sharp, stay focused.